Hi there, friends. This is Pammy Joe. I'm a spiritual healer. I give you permission to live as an eternal on earth now and encourage you to activate and use your God-given talents and skills to help God heal mankind and make earth a better place here. I want to talk about self and self-criticism and criticism from others and criticism of others and control of others. That's a big topic, I know. Discovering through talking to several friends of mine that it is easier to find fault in others than to deal with that which resides within us. And in fact, being helpful to other people is a disguise to prevent us from dealing with that thing that's swirling around inside us that we're trying to avoid. This is a toughie because it's just so much easier. I'll give you an example. One of my family members is taking a very healing, helpful, soul revealing, soul liberating training that I've taken. It's called Unstoppable Influence 21-Day Challenge. And I found myself, as a friend of this person, nagging, mentioning what I'd done so far in the challenge, mentioning the assignments that it was time for us to do. I was being controlling. And I think I know the reason I was being controlling with my loved one, it was because I felt responsible, and I know I am, for some of the things that she needed to let go and de-internalize. She has a nature that is this, and this. I'll talk about myself. I have an easygoing nature. I'm not really afraid to talk in front of people. I'm not wild about crowds, but if it's loved ones, then I love it. The more the merrier. And through my experiences at soul healing, I found out that I don't dread people as much as I thought I did. In fact, it wasn't the people I dreaded, it was looking them in the eye. I didn't want to look at myself deeply and if they looked at me, I felt inadequate. So rather than deal with myself, I found things about other people that needed prayer and that they needed help with, and I had suggestions for them. Well, I thought that was all good-hearted stuff, but find out that a big part of being a soul reader or a soul healer or a friend, a parent, call it whatever you want, we're all soul readers, is knowing when to just look at someone and gauge when they might need to open up, when you can say a little thing that pulls them out. The goal is not to show off. It is not to help. The goal is to allow them to step forward into their light, their truth, and be okay with themselves. And sometimes they just need either silent trust or sometimes acknowledgement. And that's why my calling includes permission to be eternal, because I know so many people who have memories or feelings of the eternity as if they've already lived once. And it might be genetic memories that are passed down to us as humans. It might be God's spirit sharing information with us, because our souls all came from somewhere out there where he made us, and we may remember part of that atmosphere and that environment. So giving yourself permission to be a spiritual being here is a lot more encouraging to me than thinking that I am a lump of mud with energy in it, which will just return to the earth, and that's the end of that. So it doesn't matter what I do, to whom, to myself, to anyone else. So I learned the hard way that this is a tough lesson for me too. I've had helpful individuals, friends counseling me, telling me, you need to not be so hard on yourself. This is a very common one with me because I used to make fun of myself so that no one else would and to keep myself out of trouble. It wasn't quite as demeaning to myself as it sounded, but if I made fun of myself, I guess it kept anyone else from doing it because I'm seeing it now. I was self-conscious about some things I said in my childhood where I got made fun of. There, I admit it. It came up in a live video. That's okay. I'm okay with that. It's good. I don't have to make fun of myself anymore. But all those things about, have you ever heard anybody, oh, it's okay, I always do stupid things. What's another one? Or people who say to you, give yourself more credit. I can't believe that you don't believe in yourself. All right. What we have just said here is our subconscious and our soul doesn't understand not, don't, and all those words. So when someone says, I can't believe you don't believe in yourself, what they're really saying is don't believe in yourself. So what are they supposed to do, right? They see good-heartedly that you have a doubt about yourself and that you are underestimating your worth as they see you. Here's the answer. And this will work on me to me, or on me to others, or on others to me. Find the worth in the person and mention that. Focus on what is right. Tell me what you like about me. Not in flowering, overbearing terms, which I tend to do. That may be part of an approval addiction or staying out of trouble. I'm not. Or I'm simply an emotional, exuberant person who really sees the good in people. Either way, if one is going to give an opinion of someone, for pity's sakes, find something right about them. You would be surprised. I was surprised. I won't say what you're going to do. I just did that, say that control thing. You this. I was so surprised that if I go into the grocery store or work with an okay attitude about myself and just an okay attitude about others, I don't even have to be thrilled to be there or thrilled to be around people. If I just have an accepting attitude about others, they seem to be in a better mood than if I go looking for and creating trouble myself. If I'm looking for someone to irritate me because I'm irritated myself, or I'm down all the time, or not looking on the bright side, I usually find it. It's kind of like the red light syndrome. If you go into a town, ours doesn't have lights, but if you go into a town where there's a constant row of lights and you say, we're going to hit every red light in the place, it happens every time. I swear, if not every 70, 80%. I go into that town by myself with the attitude of, yeah, and I get mostly green lights. Finally, my sweet, wonderful, adorable, nice husband that everyone likes, I finally told him, please stop saying that because you're bringing it to us. There's power in words. So, to summarize this, saying something nice to you about you, doing something nice for you instead of something stressful. One more example, then I'll go. But I was feeling overwhelmed that I had too much to do today, and I was going to write a to-do list. That thought actually came from the Almighty, write a to-do list. So I started writing the to-do list from the beginning of the day. It was about 11 a.m. when I started this. And as I wrote it down, I realized, wait a minute, 70 or 80% of my to-do list was already done by the time I wrote it down. So maybe I should give myself a you've done list instead of a to-do list. You've done this, at least split it out. You've done this already. Now you have this you want to work on. Instead of if you don't get this done, you're not doing enough list. Flip it around. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. See you next time.